Hello guys, I just continue the previous lecture in which I have solved the problem of finding minimum and maximum in the given array. So in this video lecture we will solve this problem using the divide and conquer approach. So I just write the algorithm for the which follows the uh, recursive calling and use the divide and conquer approach to solve this problem. So let's suppose the method which uses the divide and conquer approach is divide and conquer for finding minimum and maximum. Okay, so this method requires an array A with some I and j indexes with some max and min value. Okay, so before calling the recursive function, I just define the base cases. So in this algorithm there may be two base cases. One is when your problem have only one element, that means there is no comparison required, or the element itself is maximum or minimum. The second case is when we have two elements in which one is maximum, other is minimum. So I consider both of the sub problems, and I define here two base cases for this recursive function. So the first case, if I is equal to j, then it return max and min is equal to a of I or a of j, any one element. So this is the base case when sub problem is of size one element. Else if I is equal to j minus 1. So when I is equal to j minus 1, it means the problem of size 2 element is there, I and j minus 1. So in that case, if a of I is less than a of j, then I can say that max is equal to a of j and min is equal to a of I. Else max is equal to a of I and min is equal to a of j. Okay, so this is the base case when one element is there. This is the base case when two elements are there. So this else is closed here. Now if there is no base case, then the problem size is big. It means it is not a smaller problem or sub problem. Then for those cases I go to the else part and calculate the mid position using I and j. Now after having the mid position, I divide the whole problem into two subparts based on this mid. So I just call the recursive same function DACMM on the same array with index I and mid, which is calculated here on the same variables max and min, because I need to find out the max and min here. Suppose in this approach there is a max 1 and min 1 which is to be find out. Then I call the same recursive call again in the second half of the array. So I just call the array with mid plus 1 to j with two variables max and min. Then in these two subproblems I found max 1 min 1 and max and min. then I need to compare that in both of the subproblems the solution which is there in those solution, what is the maximum number and what is the minimum number. So for that I just put if condition, if the maximum means the maximum element returned by the first recursive call is less than the maximum element returned by the second recursive call, then your max would be so here your max would be, so suppose if max 1 is greater, then max would be max 1. Okay, if min 1 is less than min, then the minimum element is min 1. Okay, so the else condition is closed and the recursive function is closed. So this way the whole recursive function is called 2 times recursive calling. In each function there are 2 recursive calls. First is for the first half of the array and second is for the second half of the array, and after these 2 recursive calls we just compare the solution of each of the recursive calling. So the last 2 lines can be treated as a combined step of our divide and conquer approach, and these 2 lines follows the recursive calling on the subproblem. So we divide the this one relation on these 2 subproblems. Okay, now let's take an example and try to solve the array using this divide and conquer approach. So suppose I consider an array with the following elements. So suppose the input given is 49, 10, 59, 92, 6, 70, 9 and 31. So this is the input given. I suppose the index is start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 elements in this array. So I just call the same function on this array. So here I and j is nothing but the size of the array. I represent the first element and j represent the last position of the array. Okay, so I and j represent first and last position of the arrays. So for this one, if it is an array, I just call this recursive calling, like for first time I just draw an array, draw a block which is nothing but a call to divide and conquer mm, in which an array is there. I just not having a block of a, just write the I. So the value of I is initially 1, the value of j is 8, and there are empty space for maximum, empty space for minimum. I need to fill out after the sub problem is solved. So this problem is divided into 2 sub problems. So these 2 sub problems have similar step. So I need to divide this into 2 sub problems. So because the problem size is not smaller, because your I and j are not equal, or I is not equal to j minus 1. So I need to divide it. I need to calculate the mid. So in order to calculate the mid, I just write 8 plus 1 by 2, that means 4.5. Because it is an integer, I considered it as a 4. So the right hand side would be the sub problem from 1 I to j. J here is mid, nothing but mid. So 1 to mid, and I just have some empty steps for locations for the max and min. Similarly, at the right hand side, the sub problem would be divided as mid plus 1 means 5, 2j means 8 and 2 empty locations for the max and min. Now this problem is further divided into two sub problems. One is again find out the mid, because the problem is large, so I need to find sum it up. It is 5 by 2, nothing but 2.5, it means it is 2. So the sub problem is 1 to mid, that is 2, with max and min. Similarly, here the sub problem is mid plus 1 means 3 to 4 with 2 empty spaces, for one for max and min. I repeat the same steps here. The sub problem would be mid is equal to 5 plus 8 by 2, that means 13 by 2, that means 6.5. It means the 6 would be considered as a mid. So 5 to 6 is one of the array. Similarly here, the second sub problem would be from mid plus 1, mid 7 to 8 and 2 empty arrays. Now here I is equal to j minus 1. It means this would be one of the sub problem. So I can stop here if I consider the base case as 2 elements. If I am not considered the base case as 2 elements, then I further divide this problem into two parts. I further divide this problem into two parts, and I further divide this problem into two parts, and I further divide this problem into two parts. Here the division include 1, 1 and empty location for max and min. Similarly here it includes 2, 2 and empty location for max and min. So now because the problem is small, it only consider one element, that is max and min would be pointing to single element. Here the single element is 49. Similarly here also single element is 49, and here the single element is 10 and single element is 10. So this problem would consider only one element. Similarly I break this up in all cases. Now in this case I am not consider the first one as a base case. I consider the second, means 2 element subcase for the base case. So let's delete the lower branch and consider only 2 element subproblem. Okay, so now this is the base case for my subproblem. So when base case is there, see the algorithm. If a of I, it means a of I means a of 1 is less than a of j, a of 2. What is the value of a of 1? A of 1 is 49. What is the value of a of 2? A of 2 is 10. So if 49 is less than 10, which is false, so I just go to the else part. I just write max is equal to a of I. So the a of I means 49. So if I consider the first block as the maximum, so I just write here 49. So max is equal to 49 and min is equal to 10. Similarly, I will check for 3 and 4. For 3 and 4, just check for if 59 is less than 92. Yes, it is less than 92. It means max is a of j, means 92 is a maximum element and 59 is a minimum element. Now here also for 5 and 6, I just check whether 6 is less than 70. It will say yes. So max element would have 70 and min element would have 6. Now similarly I will check for the 7th and 8th location. So I just check whether a of 7 means 9 is less than a of 8 means 31. It would say yes. So a of 31 would be maximum and 9 would be minimum. Now so I just solve the base case here. when the problem is small. So here the problem is small, so I just solved it. Here the problem is big. When the problem is big, I just go to the third case, that is for the recursive calling case. So in this one, as you see that we just follow the recursive callings. I just need to execute the combine step here. So in order to execute the combine step, I require, so this is for this problem, this is my max 1, this is my max, this is my min 1, and this is my min. So I just check whether max 1, so for this condition max 1 means 49 is greater than, here is 92. So if 49 is greater than 92, then, so it is not the case, 49 is not greater than 92. So uh, so 49 is not greater than 92. So what we done, so we just update the max. So sorry, I just correct it as a, so if it is my max 1 and this is my max, this is my min, and this is my min 1. So I just compare it whether your max 1, so here is max 1, if max 1 is greater than max, yes, then update the max with the, so update the max, so here is, it is a max, so updated with the max 1, that is this algorithm. Okay, so what I do, I just update it. So I just write it here max and min, and the second procedure have max 1 and min 1. Okay, I just correct it. So in these two cases 92 would be updated. In second case, if min 1, that means if min 1 is less than min, so if min 1 means if min 1 means this element, so here also there is some changes. If min is less than min 1, if this element is less than min, yes, this is less than min, then you update the min, means this element, with the so you update the min 1. So min is, so if min 1 is less than min, so min 1 is this one, is less than min, no, so min 1 is not less than min, so we can say that your 59 is not less than 10. So 59 is not less than 10, so condition is false and min is not updated, and min is remain as it is. Yes, now algorithm is working fine. So this is the correct algorithm. Okay, so now what we do, we go for the second step. Now again I will repeat what it is to be done. So this is my max for first recursive call, this is my min for first recursive call for this problem, this is my max 1, and this is my min 1. Okay, so for, see here, for first recursive for this problem, this is a max, min, and for this one it is a max 1 and min 1. Now I need to compare the max 1, means this max 1 means 31, with whether 31 is greater than max, means 70. So the condition is false, no, it is not greater than, so max is not updated and max will remain same. So here max will remain same, it means it is 70. Similarly, I just check for the minimum element whether the min 1 means 9 is less than 6. So 9 is not less than 6, condition false, so min is also not updated, and I keep the min here. So for these two sub problem, this would be my max, this would be my min, and this would be my max 1, and this would be my min 1. So for these two cases, I just check for the max, whether the max one means 70 is greater than 92. So no, condition is false. So max is not updated. I just keep the max as it is. Now for second condition, I just check for the min 1 means 6 is less than min, that means 10. So yes, so it is, condition is satisfied. It means min is updated. So min would be min 1. So I just write here 6. After updation, the min is 6. So in this recursive calling, I just find out that max would be 92 and min would be 6. So it is a maximum element and this is a minimum element. So this is how we solve this problem using the recursive calling. So let's form a recurrence relation for the same problem. So what would be the recurrence relation of this problem? So in order to form the recurrence relation, just see that for each of the step or each of the function calling, what amount of time required to solve the problem. So I need to just analyze the amount of time required to find max and minimum element. So suppose the amount of time required is t of n. So t of n is 0, means there is no comparison. When there is no comparison, there is no time required. So when it is not comparison, when the problem size is only 1. So when n is equal to 1, when I have only one element here, like these are the sub problems, then it will require 0 comparisons. It means the time complexity is 0. Now when the problem is of size 2, the problem that we have considered is of size, the sub problem is of size 2, then the number of comparison required is 1, and I can say that the time complexity is some constant, or we can say that it is 1. When the problem size is big, means if n is greater than equal to 2, then I just divide the whole relation into two parts, which is divided by a mid index. So I divide this whole problem, if the problem of this size n, then I divide it into t of n by 2 plus t of n by 2, and 2 steps for is considered to find out the solution, means to find out the combined step, or to compare the max with the other sub problem max 1 and min with the other sub problem min 1. Okay, so this is the recurrence relation, that is 2t n by 2 plus 2 if n is greater than 2. Okay, so for this type of problem, sub problem, it also what is the time complexity for this type of recursive relation? So this type of recursive relation give the order of n time. So the time complexity of finding maximum and minimum element using divide and conquer approach is also order of n. So I can say that your straight max and min is better than your divide and conquer max and min, because your divide and conquer max and min will take more memory and more space in terms of stack, because it is recursive, and the time complexity of both of the algorithm is similar. That is, the best case, average case, and worst case time complexity of both of the approaches is order of n. So we are not it is not efficient to take the divide and conquer approach in order to solve the finding minimum and maximum problem. Okay, so so this is all about the finding maximum and minimum problem. In next lecture we will take the example of binary search of the same approach, that is divide and conquer algorithm. Thank you very much.